Hey everyone! Welcome back to another episode of Nighttime Mics. I'm Sarah, and I'm sitting here with my favorite co-host, Mike. How are you doing today, Mike?
I'm doing great, Sarah. Actually, I'm feeling a little bit lighter today. Do you want to guess why?
Let me think. Did you finally get around to cleaning your apartment? Or did you finally give up on that sourdough bread hobby you started last week?
Hey, the bread was a work in progress, but no, it's not the bread. I actually just came back from the post office. I finally sent back that giant box that's been sitting in my hallway for 2 weeks. You know, the one I kept tripping over every morning.
Oh, thank goodness. I remember you mentioning that. Was that the fancy espresso machine that arrived with the broken handle?
Exactly that one. I was so excited to start making lattes at home, but when I opened the box, it looked like it had been dropped off a building. I was so disappointed. I really wanted to keep it, but for that price, it had to be perfect.
I totally understand. That is so frustrating. It's actually funny you mention that because today we are talking all about the world of returning products. It's something we all do, but man, it can be such a headache sometimes, can't it?
Oh, a massive headache. It's like a whole separate skill you have to learn. How to pack it, how to print the label, how to get to the post office before they close. It's a lot.
It really is. And I think it's a great topic for our listeners today because there are so many useful words and phrases we use when we talk about shopping and returns. So Mike, let's dive in. Are you a frequent returner or do you usually just keep things even if you don't like them?
Honestly, I used to be the kind of person who just kept everything. I'd buy a shirt, realize it was too small, and then just leave it in the back of my closet for 3 years. I think I felt too shy to take it back to the store. But lately, especially with everything being so expensive, I've had to change my ways. I can't afford to let money sit in my closet. What about you?
I've always been a bit of a stickler for returns. If I don't love it, it goes back. I think it's because I live in a small apartment. I literally don't have the space to keep things I don't use. If I buy something and it doesn't spark joy, as they say, it has to go. But I have to admit, the process of returning things online is getting much easier, don't you think?
It is and it isn't. I mean, some companies are amazing. They send you the return label inside the box, so you don't even have to print anything. You just tape it back up and drop it off. But then there are those other companies where you have to go to their website, find your order number, which is always hidden in some old email, and then fill out a 5-page survey about why you're returning it.
Oh, I hate those surveys. Was the product too small, too large, not as described? Did you just change your mind? Is it your cat's birthday? I'm like, please, just let me send it back.
Exactly. I usually just click not as described because that feels like the safest option. But sometimes I feel guilty, like I'm lying to the company. Well, technically it is a shirt, so it is as described. I just look terrible in it.
No way. Don't feel guilty. That's just part of the business. They expect a certain percentage of things to come back. But let's talk about the physical stores for a second. Do you prefer returning things in person or through the mail?
Ooh, that's a tough one. If I return it in person, I get my money back instantly. That's a huge plus. I don't have to wait 7 to 10 business days for the refund to show up in my bank account. But the downside is the social interaction. I always feel like the cashier is judging me.
That's interesting. Why do you think they're judging you?
I don't know. I just feel like they're thinking, oh, look at this guy. He can't make up his mind. Or if I'm returning something like a half-used bottle of shampoo because it made my hair itchy, I feel like I have to explain my whole life story to them.
Sir, I don't need to know about your scalp. I just need your receipt.
Right? Exactly. I always come up with these long explanations that nobody asked for. But Sarah, have you ever tried to return something without a receipt? That is the ultimate test of courage.
Oh, I have, and I failed miserably. I tried to return a pair of shoes once that I'd bought on a trip to another city. I lost the receipt somewhere between the hotel and my house. I went to the local branch of the store, and the woman at the counter just looked at me like I was trying to rob the place.
Oh no, what did she say?
She just kept saying, without the receipt, I can only give you the current sale price as store credit. And of course, the shoes were now 50% off. I was so annoyed. I'd paid full price, and they wanted to give me back half of what I spent in Monopoly money that I could only spend in their store.
No way. That's the worst. Store credit is such a trap. It's like the store saying, we're keeping your money, but you can have this other thing you don't want instead. Did you end up taking the credit?
I did. I had to. I wasn't going to wear the shoes. They were killing my feet. So I took the credit and bought a bunch of socks. I have enough socks now to last me until the year 2050.
Well, at least your feet will be warm. But honestly, I think that's why people are moving so much toward online shopping. The digital receipt is always in your email. You can't lose it, unless you accidentally delete it, which I have definitely done before.
Me too. I've had to call customer service and ask them to resend a receipt. That's always a fun conversation. Hi, I'm calling because I'm disorganized and I need help.
Hey, that's what they're there for. But you know what's been happening lately? Some stores are starting to charge for returns. Have you noticed that?
Yes, I noticed that last month. I tried to return a coat and they told me there was a restocking fee of $7. I was shocked. $7 just to put a coat back on a hanger?
It's crazy, right? I think they're trying to discourage people from ordering 5 different sizes and returning 4 of them. I've definitely done that with jeans. Jeans are so hard to buy online. You never know how they're going to fit.
Oh, tell me about it. Every brand's medium is different. I'll order a medium from one place and it's huge, and then a medium from another place and I can't even get it over my knees. It's a total gamble.
I know, right? So you end up ordering the small, the medium, and the large just to be safe. But then you have to go through the whole process of returning the ones that didn't work. It's like a part-time job. I've spent whole Saturday mornings just taping boxes and driving to the drop-off point.
It's true. It's funny how our habits have changed. My parents always tell me that when they were young, they never returned anything. If you bought it, you kept it. You really had to think twice before you spent your money.
That sounds so stressful. Imagine buying a TV and realizing it's too big for your living room, but you're just stuck with it. You'd have to move your couch into the kitchen just to see the screen.
Exactly. We are definitely spoiled now. But there is a dark side to all this returning, isn't there? I was reading an article about the environmental impact of returns.
Oh, I've heard about that. It's not good, is it?
It's actually pretty bad. Think about the carbon footprint of that package traveling back and forth. And then there's the packaging, the plastic, the cardboard, the tape. And the worst part is that many companies don't even put the products back on the shelves. It's cheaper for them to just throw them away or send them to a landfill.
Wait, are you serious? They just throw it away, even if it's perfectly fine?
Apparently, yes, especially for cheaper items. The cost of having a person inspect the item, clean it, and repackage it is higher than the value of the item itself. So it just goes to waste.
That's heartbreaking. I had no idea. It makes me feel really bad about those orange boots I mentioned earlier. I mean, they were definitely ugly, but I hate to think of them sitting in a pile of trash somewhere.
It's a tough one. It definitely makes me want to be more careful. Like, maybe I should stop window shopping online and only buy things I'm 90% sure about.
I agree, but how do you do that with clothes? You really have to try them on. Maybe we need to go back to shopping in actual stores? You know, those big buildings with people in them?
What a wild concept, Mike. In-person shopping. I think I've heard of that. But seriously, it does help. I've started going to the store to try things on, and then if I want to wait for a sale, I'll buy it online later. It saves a lot of back and forth.
That's smart. I should try that. But then again, I'm lazy. It's so much easier to just click a button while I'm sitting on my sofa in my pajamas.
That's the trap, the sofa shopping trap. You're relaxed, you're scrolling, everything looks amazing on the models, and before you know it, you've spent $200 on things you don't even need.
I am so guilty of that, especially late at night. I call it 2 a.m. Mike. 2 a.m. Mike thinks I need a professional-grade drone and a set of Japanese chef knives. 10 a.m. Mike wakes up and realizes he doesn't know how to fly a drone and mostly eats cereal.
2 a.m. Mike sounds like a very exciting person to hang out with, but a terrible person to have in charge of your bank account.
He really is. But hey, that brings up another interesting point. Have you ever had a return rejected? Like the company sent it back to you and said, nope, we're not taking this?
Oh, thankfully no. That sounds like my worst nightmare. Has that happened to you?
It happened once. I tried to return a pair of running shoes. I'd worn them once, just once, on a short run to see if they were comfortable. But I guess I ran through a little bit of mud. I cleaned them off, or at least I thought I did. A week later, I got a package in the mail. It was the same shoes with a note saying, product shows signs of wear and tear. Return denied.
No way! That's so harsh. One little run and they rejected it?
Yeah, I was so mad. I tried to argue with them over email saying that you can't know if a running shoe works unless you actually run in it, but they wouldn't budge. So now I have a pair of slightly too tight, slightly muddy shoes that remind me of my failure every time I look at them.
That's awful, but I guess from their perspective, they can't sell used shoes to someone else. It's a tricky balance. I wonder what they do with the signs of wear stuff. Probably the landfill we talked about.
Probably. It's made me a lot more careful. Now if I buy shoes, I only walk around on my carpet for like 3 hours to make sure they're okay before I even think about taking them outside.
That's a good tip. I do the same with clothes. I keep the tags on and walk around the house. My boyfriend always laughs at me because I'll be cooking dinner or watching TV in a fancy dress with a giant yellow tag hanging off my arm. He's like, "Are you going somewhere?" And I'm like, "No, I'm just testing the range of motion."
That's hilarious, but it's necessary. You have to know if you can actually sit down in it or if you're going to be standing like a statue all night.
Exactly. Speaking of tags, have you heard of that thing called wardrobing?
Wardrobing? No, what's that? It sounds like something a fashion designer does.
I wish. No, it's actually a type of return fraud. It's when someone buys an expensive item, like a suit or a designer gown, wears it to a big event like a wedding or a gala, and then returns it the next day claiming they didn't like it.
No way. People actually do that? That is so bold. I would be terrified of spilling something on it. One drop of red wine and you're stuck with a $1,000 dress you can't return.
Right? It's so risky. But apparently it's a huge problem. Some stores have started putting these giant bright orange tags on the outside of the clothes. They put them in a place where you can't hide them. If you cut the tag, you can't return the item.
That's a great idea. It's a bit of a shame for the honest people, but I guess they have to protect themselves. It's crazy how some people try to game the system.
It really is. I guess it's the same people who try to return Christmas trees in January.
Wait, did you say Christmas trees? Like real ones?
Yes, there are stories every year of people bringing their brown, dried out, dead trees back to stores like Costco or Home Depot in the first week of January, asking for a refund because the tree died.
You have got to be kidding me. It's a tree. It's supposed to die once you cut it down. That is the funniest thing I've ever heard. Do the stores actually give them the money back?
Sometimes they do, just to avoid a scene. Some companies have such a generous return policy that they'd rather lose the $50 than have an angry customer shouting in the middle of the store.
Wow, I need to be more like those people. Not the returning dead trees part, but the confidence. I feel bad if I return a t-shirt because it has a hole in it. I feel like I have to apologize for the hole. I'm so sorry. I think maybe I looked at it too hard and it ripped.
Mike, you're too nice. You really need to work on your return game. It's your right as a consumer. If a product is faulty, you shouldn't have to pay for it.
I know. I'm getting better. I think the more I do it, the easier it gets. But Sarah, have you ever had the opposite happen? Where you tried to return something and the company just told you to keep it?
Oh, yes. That happened to me with a book once. I ordered a cookbook, but they sent me a book about, what was it? Something very technical about bridge construction.
From cupcakes to bridges? That's quite a mix-up.
It was. I contacted them to say I got the wrong order, and they were like, "Oh, we're so sorry. We'll send the cookbook right away. And don't worry about sending the bridge book back. Just keep it or give it to a friend."
That's the best feeling. It's like a little gift from the universe. Did you ever learn how to build a bridge?
Not yet, but if I ever decide to change careers, I'm ready. But it's interesting why they do that. Again, it's about the cost. It's cheaper for them to let you keep a $10 book than to pay for the shipping to get it back.
It makes sense. I had that happen with a set of drinking glasses. One of them was cracked when it arrived. I called them up and they just sent me a whole new set of 6 glasses and told me to throw away the broken one and keep the other 5. So now I have 11 glasses.
Score! See? Sometimes the system actually works in your favor, but you have to be honest. I've heard of people breaking things on purpose just to get a free replacement. That's where I draw the line.
Oh, definitely. That's just wrong. That's bad karma waiting to happen. You don't want the shipping gods to be angry with you.
The shipping gods. I love that. They're the ones who decide if your package arrives in 2 days or gets lost in a warehouse in Nebraska for 3 weeks.
Exactly. I think I've offended them recently because my last 3 packages have all been delayed. I must have done something wrong. Maybe it was the way I taped that last box. It was a bit messy.
Well, maybe you should try to make up with them by being a more conscious shopper. What do you think is the biggest lesson you've learned about returns over the last year?
Let me think. I think the biggest lesson is to check the return policy before I buy, not after, especially with international companies. I once bought a jacket from a company in another country, and when I wanted to return it, I realized the shipping cost to send it back was almost as much as the jacket itself.
Oh no, that's the worst feeling. You're basically stuck with it at that point.
Yep, I ended up giving it to my cousin. It didn't fit him either, but he wears it anyway. He says it's oversized fashion.
Hey, whatever works. For me, I think the biggest lesson is to stay organized. I have a little folder on my computer now where I save every receipt as soon as I get it. And I have a specific return corner in my house. If something goes in that corner, it must be out of the house by the end of the week. No exceptions.
A return corner. I love that. It's like a timeout zone for bad products. You didn't work, so now you sit in the corner until you go back to the factory.
Exactly. It helps me keep my sanity, and it stops the hallway box problem that you are having.
Hey, don't remind me. My hallway feels so empty now. I almost miss that box. It was like a piece of furniture after 2 weeks. I could put my keys on it.
Don't you dare start getting attached to return boxes, Mike. That's a dangerous path.
You're right. So Sarah, what about the holiday season? We just finished the big winter holidays. That's like the World Cup of returning things, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely. I think the day after Christmas is officially the busiest day for returns. Everyone is rushing back to the mall with those sweaters they're never going to wear and the 3 different coffee makers they received from different aunts.
I've been there. I once got 3 copies of the same autobiography for Christmas. I don't even like that celebrity. I had to spend my whole afternoon on December 26th waiting in line at the bookstore. It was a nightmare.
That's the worst part of gift giving, I think. You want to be polite and say, "Oh, I love it," but in your head, you're already calculating if the store is open on Sunday.
I know. And then you have to ask for the gift receipt. That's always an awkward moment. I love this gift so much, but just in case it's the wrong color, can I have the receipt?
It's basically code for, "I'm definitely returning this." But honestly, I think most people prefer if you return it and get something you actually like. It's better than it sitting in a drawer forever.
That's true. My mom always says the gift is the thought, not the object. So once the thought has been delivered, you can do whatever you want with the object.
I like your mom's philosophy. That takes the pressure off. But you know, Mike, we've talked a lot about the problems, but let's talk about the perfect return. Have you ever had a return experience that was actually pleasant?
Believe it or not, yes. I had to return something to a local outdoor store recently, some camping gear. I walked in, told the guy it didn't fit my tent, and he was so helpful. He didn't just give me my money back, he actually spent 20 minutes helping me find the right piece of gear that would work. I ended up leaving the store feeling happier than when I walked in.
That's amazing. That's a great example of good customer service. They turned a return into a positive experience and kept you as a customer.
Exactly. I'll definitely go back there. It's a good reminder that behind all these policies and boxes, there are actually people who want to help. Most of the time, anyway.
Most of the time. There are always those grumpy days, but generally, everyone is just trying to do their job.
For sure. So Sarah, any final thoughts for our listeners before we wrap this up? Maybe some pro tips for the next time they have to send something back?
Definitely. My top 3 tips would be, number 1, keep the original packaging until you're 100% sure. Number 2, take a photo of the return receipt or the tracking number. Packages do get lost. And number 3, don't feel guilty. If it's not right, it's not right.
Those are great. I'd add one more. If you're returning something to a store, be extra nice to the person at the counter. They deal with a lot of stressed out people, and a little kindness can go a long way. They might even help you figure out a way to get a full refund, even if you're missing a tag or something.
That is so true. A smile can solve a lot of problems.
It really can. Well, Sarah, I think I've talked about returns enough for one day. I'm starting to feel the urge to go home and check my closet for anything else I can send back.
Stay away from the closet, Mike. You've done enough for today. Just go home and enjoy your latte. Oh, wait, the espresso machine is gone.
You're right. I'll just have a glass of water. I have 11 glasses to choose from after all.
There you go. See? Everything works out in the end.
It really does. Well, thanks for the chat, Sarah. This was actually really helpful. I feel like I figured out a lot of things about my own shopping habits today.
Me too. It's always good to talk these things through. And to our listeners, we hope you enjoyed this episode of Nighttime Lakes.
Yeah, thanks for hanging out with us. We hope you learned some cool new phrases and that your next return is as smooth as butter.
Yes, no orange boots for anyone.
Definitely not. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel and let us know in the comments, what's the strangest thing you've ever tried to return? We'd love to hear your stories.
Oh, I can't wait to read those. There must be some crazy ones out there.
I'm sure there are. All right, everyone, have a great night, and we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye, everyone.
Catch you later.
And remember, keep your receipts.
Always. Bye.